Well, my first question is, you play a stuntman in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, did you go back and look at a lot of the footage that they added into the end of the movie and just were shocked by it?
I did. One of the things that actually kind of drew me to the film at the beginning, I think it's a really interesting time. It's kind of when these pioneers were figuring out what films were and what the possibilities were, and kind of put us on the road that we are now with these, huge, big action movies that are all stunts, and because that's what people wanted to see back in the day. That's they wanted to see. They wanted to see newsreel footage of someone riding on top of a biplane, or jumping from a train onto a moving car, or they wanted to see those big epic stunts. That's what was cool. So.
What's a good little thing they add in at the end of the movie too? Because I wasn't expecting to see that. After all the stuff you see.
Well, I think a lot of the movie is about it's about movies. It's about movies. This little girl has never seen a movie before, and so the way she imagines the story is totally pre-cinematic. When I imagine things now, I imagine things like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think my dreams are in coverage.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have that, so she imagines it in a colorful, expressionistic kind of way, and that's a big part of, I think, what the movie is about. You know?
Well, I read the notes that you had pretty much everybody on the crew convinced that you couldn't walk, right?
Yeah. It was Tarsem's idea that I would come in and introduce myself as Roy to everyone, and that I would be in a wheelchair, and everyone would believe it. And it was great. It got the whole atmosphere on set to be a little more sensitive, and me and Katinka were able to kind of connect in a more private way. When she would get into that bed, she would be very conscious of my legs, and she'd be very. She would take care of me at lunch because I couldn't go up and get dessert, so she would go up and get it and bring it back for me, and it just helped us kind of develop a honest relationship. They didn't appreciate it once they heard that.
Well, I was going to ask you, what was Katinka's reaction when she saw that you could walk?
Well, Katinka does this thing where, and you'll see it a lot in the movie, where she doesn't like what's happening because she's scared or uncomfortable. She just looks away. And so when I did stand up and told her that I could walk, she convinced herself that there'd been some switch happen. Like someone else was standing there and trying to convince her that it was Roy again. And then she convinced herself that it was her love that had made me be able to walk again. She really did.
That's cool. Now, was she somebody you just instantly fell in love with, from the moment you saw her?
Yeah, absolutely. She's really kind of ballsy, talented little girl. She's very sensitive and very complicated. And we would we'd get behind the curtain there, and they would cut a hole for the camera, and she would just talk, and she had no idea she was being filmed. She would complain about Tarsem, and then everyone in the next room would laugh, and she'd be like, "What are they laughing at?" She just had no idea she was being filmed. So we got to really just kind of talk and be private, and it was really great to be able to work with someone like that.
So a lot of the scenes, like the toe scene, that was sort of improvised?
Yeah, it was improvised. It's her really laughing and having a good time with it, and then when I kind of ask her if she's lying, she's really worried about it. She's worried that she's going to be in trouble about something. All that stuff was real. But then she figured it out. She figured out the camera. She figured out that she was adorable, and she acted terribly for a while. She acted very kind of princessy, and I remember looking at her and saying, "Katinka, you gotta really do it. You gotta really think about me as someone you love who's dying, and you have to save my life. That's your job. You have to really connect with me and save my life. You have to act." And that's when I think she's exceptional in the movie. In that last scene where she's saying, "I love you and I don't want you to die." That's her really acting in it, and I think she's great in it.